What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. For this one, we're going to do something kind of cool. Let's say, for example, you've been playing your copy of Pokemon Platinum as a ROM on your PC that you backed up, legally of course, and you've been doing it in an emulator, you've been playing through Platinum, you have a save file that's, farther along than what you were on your cartridge, and now you want to take that save file and restore it back over to your cartridge. Well, in this video I'm going to show you one way to do it, and for this method you're going to need a 3DS or a 2DS that has custom firmware installed, and I sort of did that a long time ago on my 2DS, which I have hooked up here, but I'll link in the description, like this website, which I think is the site I used way back in the day to do it. You can kind of go through and it will walk you through installing the custom firmware and getting the homebrew stuff all set up, because that's what we're going to really need it for, is to install homebrew applications, because you're going to want to also then install this application after you have your custom firmware set up. You can load up FBI, which is an application that you should be able to get onto your 3DS with the homebrew launcher and all that good stuff. But then you can scan a QR code if you want to get it that way. But you can use this QR code right here and scan that, and it should install Checkpoint 3.7.4, which is the software that will allow us to back up and, more importantly, restore our Pokemon Platinum save file back to its original cartridge. So first, and I'll also leave all the links to these pages in the description if you need to go and check them out then after the fact. But first, over here we have on the right side of the screen, this is my actual physical 2DS with a capture card installed that I have the custom firmware on. As you can see over here, we have like the homebrew launcher, and then this right here is the Checkpoint software that I've already installed. But first, just to prove this is all done and working the way I say it is, let's load up Pokemon Platinum and show you my current save file on the game right here, which is a little bit earlier in the playthrough. So let's load this up, and this is all run on actual hardware, my Pokemon Platinum cartridge. So we see we have 0 badges and a Pokedex of 9, and we've been playing for just an hour and a half on this save file. So our goal is to take my save file that is farther along and get it back over to this cartridge so I can play it on its original hardware once again. But I'll show you the save file we're dealing with over here on this side of the screen. You can see we're going to launch the DS emulator. This is the one I use, but I think it's the one most people use. Let's load up the ROM, and in this folder over here I got the Pokemon Platinum ROM file, so we can load the game up very similar fashion. But and on this save file, as you can see, we've been playing 14 hours and 50 minutes with 3 badges and a Pokedex of 66. So you see we're quite a bit farther along in the emulator save file than we are on the physical cartridge. But I want to get the newer save file over to the physical cartridge and restore it back to its original location. So then all my progress will be carried back over to the physical hardware. So to do that, first, let's load up the save file in here. You're going to want to save your save file properly. You can see here's the location we're in. But you're going to want to go to File. We're going to export the backup memory. And there I have some files here I've already backed up previously, and one I just backed up today, but let's do a new one. I'm just going to go Platinum Save and say Current. Now, that will be saved into this ROMs folder right here. Right there. That's important there. But now, we can close out of this. We've backed up our save and as a .sav file. We can close the emulator, so we're all good there. And now over on my actual physical 2DS, let's get us back to the main menu here. We're going to want to load into the Checkpoint software. and we'll be able to back up and restore our save file. But first we have to just create a little bit of a quick backup with the one that's on the cartridge so that we can more easily overwrite it. So here's the software, load it up, checkpoint, and there we go. And you'll see loading, here's the physical cartridge of Platinum that's in the slot, and then also it will show any kind of digital games you may have installed on the system. Like I have Pokemon Yellow and Crystal and Pokemon Bank installed, but here's the physical cartridge. I'm gonna hit A for that, and now down here, you'll see I already have this folder from previously when I did this. But most likely you'll have no folders showing here. So you want to click New, and then it'll ask you if you want to back up the selected tile. So then you'll want to hit Yes, and after you hit Yes, it will create a folder like this with the date and everything. And that's all we need to do for this step. Then you can close out of that software, and we're going to want to fully turn off our system here. Power off the 2DS. Because now we're going to want to take the SD card out of the 2DS, or 3DS if you're using that. But we'll take the SD card. You're also going to need an SD card reader for your computer. If I happen to have one. So I'll put the SD card into the computer. Okay, and let's load it up here. There we go. See it load up here, removable disk. So we'll go there. And now you have all these folders. If you've put the custom firmware on your system, you'll see a lot of folders regarding all the different kinds of cheats and software and plugins and Luma, which is one of the homebrew things. But up here in 3DS, you'll be able to see a lot of the custom applications you've installed, and Checkpoint is right here. So you'll see a folder for Checkpoint, go in there, and you'll see a folder for saves here, and then you want to pick the software you're dealing with, which this one here is for the Pokemon Platinum folder, and here's you'll see that exact same numbered folder we just looked at over on the 2DS, and in here you'll see the save we just backed up, which is our old save, and this is the one that we want to overwrite. So we go back to our Pokemon Platinum ROMs folder with the file we just saved from our emulator. We can copy that and get back to where we need to be on the SD card, paste it, and say yes. Okay, so now it's here, and you're going to want to name it the same thing. So I'm just going to delete them. Well, first I'm going to just copy this file name just to make it easier. Then delete the whole file. Oh, there we go. Delete the entire file. And just take our new save we just recently backed up, make the name the exact same, and that should be all you have to do on the SD card. Now we'll have this save here when we load back into the software, so into the Checkpoint software. So let's just eject our SD card. We're going to want to put the SD card from our computer, take it and put it back into your system, either your 2DS or 3DS, whatever you're using here. We'll stick it back in, turn the system back on. We should see it load back up over here in a second. Here we go. Okay, now we're back into the system. And now, there you go, we got the Pokemon Platinum still there, which currently still has the old save file. So you're going to want to go back to Checkpoint and load it back up. And now, hit A on the Pokemon Platinum cartridge. And now you're going to want to go down to the folder that you just put your save file into and overwrote the old one. And just hit A, and it'll say, do you want to restore the selected title? Click yes. Hit the A button for yes, and it may take a few seconds. It kind of looks like it may freeze here, but if you just wait, it will eventually say successful. So yeah, it looks like it's frozen, but it's not. It's in the background restoring the file. So just wait a few more seconds here, and we should be good. There we go. And the file has been restored successfully. So hit OK. And now we can exit out of this software. And we're pretty much done getting it here. And I'll show you it's all good. So take your Pokemon Platinum save file here, or your Pokemon Platinum cartridge that you have in the system. Load it back up here. And if we get to the main menu screen, once this loads, we should see our save file is now the one that I just showed us in the emulator, which is the much newer one, now on our physical cartridge. And there we go, look at that. Now we have our save file from much farther along. 14 hours, 50 minutes, 3 badges, 66 Pokemon in our Pokedex. We can load into it. And there we are. That's just where we were in our emulator a second ago. So now, the save file that was on my PC, that I was playing through on an emulator, is now back on its original cartridge, exactly where I was, with the Pokemon that are much higher level and farther along. So there we go. That's about all there is to it. It took me a while to figure out how to make it work, but it's actually pretty simple once I finally realized the software I needed. And get the checkpoint software and download and installed. It lets you back up and restore pretty easily. Of course, the only downside is you need a 2DS or 3DS with homebrew installed and custom firmware and all that. Which, if you want to try to go through all that, it's actually not as hard as it sounds. It was a while ago when I did it, so I forget the steps. But mostly, you just take your SD card and, you know, change the files on it, and according to the tutorial that will walk you through it. I'll leave links in the description to the guide that may help you do that, as well as the checkpoint software page. But after you go through that whole guide, yeah, you could get the custom firmware booted up and get like Luma 3DS and all that kind of stuff on it, which I think is the name of the firmware. But once you have that and can install custom software like Checkpoint, you can very easily back up and restore your save files and do a lot of fun stuff. But everybody, that was a rousing success, so I think I will wrap this video for now. I was getting ready to do this and get my save file restored, so I figured I'd just record it and show everybody how to do it, at least one way how to do it. Maybe there are other ways, but this is the way that worked for me because I already had a custom firmware 2DS with a capture card and everything, so I could show you. And so I figured I would just record it, and for anybody that might be curious. And also, pretty soon I'll be starting back up my Pokemon Platinum playthrough, which is why I'm messing around with some of this. And this is the save file that where I left off, I believe, here with this team. So I'm probably gonna start playing that again. Oh yeah, and my one Pokemon actually is shiny. I found this Pokemon full odds just when I was grinding earlier in this playthrough of this save file. Popped up, just fully legit. It was crazy. And there's actually a video on my channel where I showed me encountering it and capturing it. So go check that out if you want to see that. And also with the previous Pokemon Platinum videos if you want to catch up on the series, since I'll be starting it up again soon. But everybody, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I recently passed 800 subscribers, which is still mind-blowing to me. And when I hit 1,000, I plan to do some kind of giveaway. So I encourage you all to subscribe if you haven't already, so we can make it to 1,000 someday, and we can have some cool, fun giveaway, which I'm not sure exactly what it will be, but I'm sure it'll be pretty neat. But everybody, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.